What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down a route that every single wide receiver should try to do in order to get separation. So I hope this video helps you guys out. Hope it teaches you a few things about route running, press releases, and what you can do to create more space. But also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you want to know what you should do schedule-wise on a day-to-day basis to improve in the gym and on the field, check out that very first link in the description below for our ultimate 8-week wide receiver workout plan. You will get over 500 wide receiver on-field drills and gym exercises broken down with sets, reps, and a day-to-day schedule where we map everything out. So check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get started with this video. So first things first here, this is going to be a route from Kyle Phillips from the Titans training camp. He's going to be running a corner route with an inside release. So this is something that so many wide receivers struggle to do, and so many wide receivers struggle to trust this route, but we're going to break this thing down with multiple clips and a negative example of when the route doesn't work, so what you can avoid. So let's play this full speed. So he attacks his leverage outside, takes this inside release, gives a rocker step, and then is able to win on that corner. So there's a couple reasons why he took this type of release. So you see where he's lined up, right? You got the hash mark right here. So this is like either a wide receiver from the outside who has a split cut down, or it's maybe a slot wide receiver. So this DB is lined up outside shade. So when a DB is lined up outside shade, you have to understand a lot of things about route running. Most of the time, it's about taking what the DB gives you. If he's lined up outside shade, he is giving you the inside. He is anticipating that you are running maybe an outside breaking route like an out, like a corner, or he for sure has safety help to the inside and he's trying to funnel you to the help. So we have to take what he gives me. So that's where a lot of people struggle with this. A lot of people think that because it's an outside breaking route, they have to take the outside release. But this DB's sole purpose in life is to take away the outside. Do not give up the out. Do not give up the corner. Do not give up the fade. So if you go up against a disciplined DB, a crappy DB, it won't make a difference. But you go up against a disciplined DB and you try to take this outside release and force it, he is going to get hands on you and squeeze you to the sideline. And when you run any kind of outside route, an out route, a corner, maybe even a comeback, that quarterback needs space to throw you open. So we have to take what he gives me in terms of the inside release. So Phillips does a great job of attacking him, attacking the leverage, get him to hold the leverage, then let's burst up to the inside. Now, one of the things he does really well on this inside release is that he stays low. And we're going to talk about why that's important in the next clip of Justin Jefferson and on a route where he doesn't stay low and he's able to get knocked off of this thing and get locked up. So he's able to stay low. He dips this left shoulder. He's trying to get back skinny into the cushion of the DB. Now, this is where the decision comes because the play in the wide receiver position, a lot of it's about reacting, right? A lot of it, like I could tell you all day long, like, hey, okay, this is what you're going to do. You're going to take an inside release. You're going to use a rocker step at the top of the break, which is essentially like a double cut, and then you're going to go run the corner. But what if the DB plays it well? What if he's trailing my hip? What if I restack him? There are so many different scenarios that we can react off of as a wide receiver. But at the end of the day, we have to play fast. We cannot be thinking about too much because that's going to slow me down. We actually shouldn't be thinking at all when it's a game scenario. So it has to be a reaction. It has to be something that's trained. And that's why it's so important that you guys need to rep this stuff out. So when he gets to the top of the break, he does exactly that. We got this DB trailing his hip a little bit. So he decides to do this rocker step. He makes it look like a post. You see how his hips and his shoulders, everything's going to the inside. He's putting the brakes on. But now you see what we got. We kept timing off the line because I didn't force the outside release, didn't let the DB get hands. I attacked his leverage, took what he gave me. Now I got him to bite on this move, and I'm able to get a step or two on him, even with a grab, and the QB has space to throw me open, space to lead me. You guys have to understand, there is no defense for a perfect ball. And a quarterback at this level will put a perfect ball in one-on-ones or any kind of man coverage situation a good amount of the time. So fellas, you just have to keep timing and use the top of the route to be able to create space. Now, like I said earlier, it's about reaction. So what would you do if this guy played it well? What would you do if instead of being behind him, he was in front of him by a step? You would take this left hand and you would throw him by on his hip or his shoulder and slip under him because you still have space. You do not want to force it. Because what a lot of guys will do is when this DB's playing it well, they'll try to force it and they'll end up rounding this route way off, running past the break point, going past the depth, and that screws up timing. A name of the game, fellas, for receivers, timing and spacing. And the quarterback will give you a good ball if you could do that. So let's play this full speed, and then we'll look at a negative example and what you guys want to try to avoid on this to make sure that you'll get separation every time you run this type of route. So now, this next clip here, Justin Jefferson, pre-snap, we see the same thing, does the exact same type of move, but Alexander is able to lock this thing up because Jefferson did not stay low like Kyle Phillips did on the last clip. Now, again, I'm not trying to knock Justin Jefferson. Probably top 3 receiver in the NFL. Extremely talented. This goes to show that there are little details that can make or break the route against a talented DB like Alexander, because he's also a top 5 guy in the league. So let's play this full speed. So let's break this down. We just played it full speed. So he does exactly what we were just talking about. Inside release on a corner. He's attacking the DB's leverage who's outside. You see, here's the top of the numbers. Here's Jefferson's split. So he's cut down. His split is cut down. So Alexander probably has safety help inside, and he's expecting an outside route because Jefferson's split is cut down. So what he does, takes the inside release, and he does a pretty good job of it. I think he has him right here, but I think he needs to stay in this specific pad level. Because if he stays in this pad level where he's dipping the shoulder, stays low, drives back upfield, I think we get to a position where Alexander is trailing us. But what he does here is you see how he stands up and he starts to raise up. And watch what Alexander does. He's able to get a hand on him, and that knocks him a little bit off balance and knocks him inside. So that is the key, fellas. You guys have to make sure that when we do this type of release versus outside shade press, I am constantly working to get skinny on the route, because he's either going to be ahead of you playing hip to hip if you're getting skinny, it's going to get physical, or you're going to be able to restack directly over the top of him. But when you kind of dip off the line, like if you stay low and we almost kind of run away from him and pop the pad level up, and again, it's this minor detail, but when I'm running very, very wide inside, I'm not going hip to hip with this DB and he gets hands, that can knock me off balance because I'm high. And then that won't get us the space that we need, because that DB will be right where we don't want him to be. Let's put it that way. He'll be right to the side of the break when we either want to have him restacked or we want to have him on the hip so I can throw by him. That's the whole reason, fellas. Again, and a guy as talented as Justin Jefferson, he doesn't make mistakes a lot when it comes to route running. But it shows you that those minor details matter 1,000% of the time against a talented DB. Let's play this thing again full speed, and then we're going to show one more good example of this route and how you guys can really get skinny on the route, how you guys can restack and use this type of move to get space. But make sure we are not running high, fellas. We attack his leverage outside, take what he gives me, but I'm staying low and I'm fighting to get skinny on this route. So now we got this clip here from Jerry Jeudy. This DB, what ends up happening here is that he keeps the leverage to the outside, takes the inside release, and he's working this rocker step corner. Same idea. I just want to show you again to just further emphasize the example. So he attacks, sees the DB jumps outside, he gets skinny, throws the rocker step, and he's able to win on that corner route. So really, again, I just want to talk about how he's able to get skinny on this, because this DB jumps to the outside, and a lot of times the press release is about reacting as well. So we talk about, the corner at the top of the break. We talk about, we talk about the corner at the top of the break. We talk about the rocker step at the top of the break, and then we talk about the throw by on the corner route. So when we're coming off the ball and I got a DB who's maybe lined up head up, we don't know. I could take the outside release. I could take the inside release. It doesn't matter what release we take. You will still be able to get separation if we do what we need to on the stem. And that's getting skinny. And we do what we need to do at the top of the break, which is the rocker step, the throw by, maybe leaning into this guy a little bit. So off the line, if I'm maybe not sure, and I come off the line, I give a move, and this DB jumps to the outside, and he's taking away the outside, just take what he gives me. A lot of the times press releases, just like top of the route, are based off of reaction. So he takes this inside release here. You see how he kind of takes almost a wider kind of angle, if you will. And normally that wouldn't be good, because if you're taking this very wide angle, this DB's right on your outside hip, you're going to end up running into him. But what Jeudy does a great job of right here is getting skinny. He puts his head down. He dips that shoulder. He's getting right back over the top of this guy, so he is trailing his back hip. And when he's trailing the back hip, I hit the rocker step, and now I got space for the QB to throw me open. But now I also got separation because I took care of what I needed to off the line, kept the timing with my quarterback, but focused on separation at the top of the break. That's where the separation happens. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Jeudy reacting off the line, taking what the DB gives him, and then using that rocker step at the top to win on this corner route with an inside release. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. Always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys, as usual. And again, fellas, if you would like a full 8-week wide receiver gym and on-field workout schedule, check out that very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.